All right. Welcome and thank you for joining us here for this interview today with Aria, who's one of our core group facilitators for the next Tantric Qabalah journey. And as you may know, this is our first time having facilitators join us, which will hopefully allow us to have a deeper experience with students and be a little closely connected to their journey. And we're very excited to be offering this time around. Aria is one of the core group facilitators. We also have Maka Das and Christopher Walcott, who will be holding space as well. But today we're going to be talking to Aria specifically. So Aria, we'd love to hear what has been your journey in life so far that has led you to be able to hold space in this way for a spiritual awakening process like Tantric Qabalah.
Thank you, Kriana. And wow, what an amazingly deep question to start us off with. My journey, from the time I can remember, my deepest desire was to have a connection with God, the divine, my creator, the unknownness. And I had a very condensed version of what that was and what that looked like, and it was very confusing to me. I had lots of questions that I didn't really feel like I got a complete answer to, or something that felt truthful and in alignment with me. And so I want to say, like, in my teenage years, I started looking into Greek mythology, which was really interesting to me. And then I was in the Navy, and while I was in the Navy, I studied philosophy, and that's what really like cracked the egg open and made me start to question like all these deep thinking questions. And through that journey, and after I was in the Navy, I sought like the divine in all things. You know, I've been sprinkled, dipped, and dunked trying to get that thing, trying to figure it out. And I even sought it in the physical, because what I had been taught wasn't making clear sense to me. So I dabbled in not necessarily entheogens or mind alterings, but substances that are not healthy for your body. And I was addicted to methamphetamines for a little while. And I've been sober now for about 14 and a half years. And that was another major shifting point when I went through Alcoholics Anonymous, because that's the only thing they offered in my small town. And it shifted my focus from everything that was outside of me to what was inside of me and the truth of who I really was. And that was painful, because I had this picture of me this, and the reality of was this, and I didn't know how to like go from where I was and where I wanted to be. And so through my journey in recovery and getting in alignment with a few like mystical teachers and wonderful poets and amazing writers throughout history, and through dance, because that was a form of expression, of release and prayer for me that I discovered, I was connected with the Torn Collective community. And when I got there, I kind of came in very gently with the 40 days dedicated to divinity. And by day 10, I knew it went from like the knowing to like a visceral feeling of I am worthy of taking amazing care of myself, like being reality check. And it was the first time that I spent like time, energy, and money on myself to improve myself for no other reason, because I wanted to know who I was and what my purpose was here on this planet, where I came from, like what is this all about? And that's what led me to Tantric Qabalah, because I took probably every other class that Torn Collective offers. And Tantric Qabalah was so in alignment with everything that I had been studying in all these different far out places, that it brought the two worlds of the feeling the body and honoring that, and the really heady juicy stuff that I wanted to chew on, and married them together in this beautiful amazing program that completely transformed my life. After my first journey, there was no way that I was going to quit doing this, because I know, like, if you don't use it, you lose it with anything in life.
Yeah.
And I wanted to keep that feeling, that present, I am here, I know who I am, I have power to change and shift my internal universe in the blink of an eye, anytime. And Tantric Qabalah gave me that gift, and there was no way I was going to release it. So I took it several times, and on the third time through, this last time was my third time through, I took it as a apprentice, because I would like to be able to share this with other people. I just got an affirmation today that, like, I know why I've been through all of the interesting and painful and traumatic and wonderful experiences in my life. And I know today that it's so that I can help others who are going through those same things right now, see that there's a way through.
Thank you. Wow, that's really powerful. You've been through some pretty intense and dynamic experiences. Being in the Navy, coming from a religious, like, more dogmatic background.
Yes.
And the addiction to methamphetamines, the religious background and the military background is so, like, structured, right? And you do this, and you do this in this way, and you don't ask questions.
Yes.
You've got a lot of training around that I think you probably received a gift through that experience of being able to meet students who are unwinding from those kinds of programmings and trainings, and helping them to liberate themselves in their minds, because you've done it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then also the opposite extreme of addiction is, like, out of control, completely out of control, and having no sense of being in control of your own self. You're being controlled by something else. And I guess in a way that's what religion and the military does too, but it's in a way that is deeply harmful to you.
Yes.
And not part of a structure that first you do this and then you do that, but just, like, more of this thing that is dominating your sense of well-being. And the fact that you've liberated yourself from that and overcome that is just outstanding. And if I may add, because I know some things about you also, you have also overcome some pretty intense things with your body physically.
Oh my God. Yes.
Some illness and disease that put you on a lot of medications, because you went through the pharmaceutical allopathic medicine route to deal with those things. And do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. Yeah, I'd really love to. In my 20s, well, I have one daughter, and she's my one life birth out of 7 pregnancies. So it was my body was not carrying a child to term very well. And they discovered that I had endometriosis, and I had to have a hysterectomy. And I've had a lot of trauma, physical trauma, where I was in the Navy, and I developed fibromyalgia post hysterectomy, with the hormone fluctuation and the trauma history of not dealing with it on a cellular level, only like mind chatter dealing with it and at a minimal level. And yeah, oh my goodness. When I started Tantric Qabalah, I was the first class. They were thank goddess for my family. I just want to put a shout out. Thank you guys, because I'm here today because you guys helped. Would drive me from Yamhill to Portland, which I want to say is maybe 55 minutes. And I was unable to drive that length of time when I started my first TQ class. I was physically unable, mentally unable, just like I had no capacity for that. And by the time I was done with the first journey, even before I was done with I think it was when we were in the heart, that I began driving myself, which was like the hugest victory of not having to be driven and reliant on another person to get from point A to point B. And that was so empowering. By the time I started my second journey, I started incorporating pelvic floor rehab and utilizing ecstatic awakening meditation and some of the healing rituals in Tantric Qabalah, combining that with my physical therapy, and really had some body improvements just massively. And this last time going through, I was able to decrease. I started with the concept and the thought that I think it might be possible for me to decrease my medication. I think it might be possible. Because it was one of the things that I least looked forward to during the week, was filling this big pack of little boxes that had all my medications that I had to like look at, all this like massive
How many medications were you on?
When I started, I was on 9 different medications.
Wow.
Taken multiple times a day, some of them. And from a year ago, in October of last year, to now, I have decreased my medication by over 75%. I take 3 medications, and I don't take them multiple times a day. I take the 3 medications one time a day, which is like massive. Like the power of the law of attraction and believing that it might be possible, that empty cup, like, I don't know anything, fill me up, coming from that mind. And shifting my whole entire, like, I live by myself now. I have had a care provider who has lived with me to make sure that I was physically okay for over 12 years.
Wow.
I completely live by myself now. And I take exquisite care of myself 99% of the time. I'm even learning to do it better. But that is a massive victory for me that I would not have thought was possible. And now I'm able to shift it even more, where my new thing is, I believe that it might be possible for me to be completely off Western medication.
Yeah.
So talk to me in a year, y'all.
Yeah, and you're doing it right. You're doing it slowly. You're listening to your body. You're being really mindful, and you're working with your doctor.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. That is quite an amazing story. Wow. And there has been actually a handful of students who have been able to get off of medications as a result of using these practices, which,
yes.
We're not making any guarantees, but a lot of times I think the Western path is, oh, I'm getting headaches all the time, and migraines. So, okay, take this medication so that you don't get headaches and migraines. But the reason that you're getting headaches and migraines is because fill in the blank.
Exactly.
And that's what Tantric Qabalah addresses, is those underlying issues that are causing the physical symptoms. And when those physical symptoms shift as a result of doing this work, you don't need the medication anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Wow. So this is your second round. Not only are you a core group facilitator, which means that core group facilitators are going to be holding space at the halfway point in between each of the monthly journeys and checking in and guiding like an hour to 2 hour complementary experience. And each of the facilitators will be offering something that's unique to them, just to make it really clear what that's all about. I'm really curious to know if you were going to describe Tantric Qabalah to someone that didn't know anything about anything and was just brand new to all of this, and you could just tell them, in a few sentences, what would you say that this is all about?
Ooh,
what would be important points for them to know?
Yes. The first thing that comes in is that Tantric Qabalah is a guidebook to maneuvering your internal landscape and shifting it to what you want it to be, with loving acceptance of where you are now.
Yeah.
and that it's ancient knowledge that has been passed down through the generations, tried and tested. That it is transformative, it is deep, it requires a commitment to yourself. And that, yeah, if you ever wish that there was a book written on how to be human, this is the class that teaches you how to be human, how to survive and thrive, not just survive, but thrive in a human body.
Agreed. That would pique my curiosity if I heard that. You're like,
yeah.
They did write a book. All right, that's good to know.
They really did. It's out there. The knowledge is there.
Cool. Thank you. All right. And so, given your experience and not just in life, but also as a person who's learning how to teach Tantric Qabalah and is going pretty deep into the topic, please tell everyone what unique perspective and what complementary teaching you'll be bringing that students who choose to work with you would be experiencing.
Okay, yeah. Right, students who would choose to work with me on this journey would get a first and foremost, I'm a child at heart, and so I would bring the childlike heart to remain with us and to be playful in all that we do, and to take ourselves not so seriously, but a little more siliously. And I would also bring creativity into our gatherings, and whatever that might look like to you, whether it's drawing, sewing, crafting, writing, singing, dancing, but utilizing our creativity throughout the ascension in the tree. And also, I have a background in Tai Chi. I teach a program that's called Tai Chi for Better Balance, and I would incorporate that into our gatherings of how to recognize the chi, how to raise the chi, what that even means and what it looks like, some of the movements and how to utilize them specifically to help you transmute things without the story needing to be like recycled and again and again and again, but actually using the physical body and movement and vibration to get that stuff out of your cells. And I also have a pretty nice background in ecstatic awakening meditation, which you would definitely get a deep insight to if you traveled with me, because it definitely correlates with the Tantric Qabalah journey. Yeah. And it has deep meaning to me. And also how to give and how to receive rapt attention, because we all want to be seen and heard and validated, and what it looks like to give that to another person, and what it looks like to receive that and honor yourself in that way. And also balancing what it is to be of service and balancing that with taking exquisite care of yourself. Because there is a balance that we have to maintain, because if I choose to serve, I must fill my cup first so that I can have something to serve, and know where your source is and where you're sourcing that energy from is going to be part of the journey if you choose to travel with me.
Yeah, thank you. Wonderful. I'm really looking forward to this and to seeing what unfolds. It's very exciting to have so many of us holding space. It's just really a dream come true, actually, that we get to do this.
I'm in total agreement with you. I can remember 2 years ago when we met in the Dalles, and I had that overwhelming feeling of, we are creating something, we are birthing this new thing, and I'm getting to be a part of it. And I was just on I felt like I was just on the fringe now. And now I feel like I am, as we are, the Tauran Collective.
Yeah.
and we are growing, and it's so beautiful to watch my brothers and sisters like collaborate together and to be under this tutelage of someone that I admire and respect so deeply.
Hmm.
And to call you like my beloved sister and friend now,
Hmm.
whereas like 3 years ago I didn't even have the self-esteem to look you in the face. So that's
Yeah.
another whole freaking story that we go into.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. It's my honor and my privilege to walk next to you, sister, and to hold this space together and um, do this work of, really ultimately the reason that we're doing this is for me. I think, I'm speaking for both of us when I say that we really want to see every person standing in their power and
Yes.
bringing their unique gift to the world. We're not here to tell you what to do or how to think. We're just here to help you turn yourself on so that you can bring it, because the
That's
world
right.
needs you. The world needs every single one of us right now to
Yeah.
be living our purpose and standing in our power, and no more compromising, no more living a mediocre life that is some version of living that we were told we had to do because of whatever responsibilities or security or whatever reasons people do things that aren't for their highest and best good and aren't their purpose for being alive. We're here to assist everyone in really knowing, like, I can live my true life's purpose and be thriving and be feeling amazing every day. I
Yes.
get to do that. And we're doing that by doing this work because this is our purpose. And it just, yeah, it's very, very exciting and feels so good to be able to offer this and for people to appreciate it. This next round of Tantric Qabalah is our 7th 9-month program that we'll be offering, and it just gets better and better every time. It's so great.
It really does. It just continues to get deeper and more juicy, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. I'm so excited, and I'm just going to add that I'm glad that we don't have too big of a break between the end and the beginning, because I know that like some at times we've had like a month or two, and I'm already in the longing, like, oh, wait, where's
Yeah.
that stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we start these programs, for those of you interested, every October and every February. So those are the times to sign up and get started on it if you are feeling the call. And of course, you can contact us, either Aria or myself or Maka or Christopher, and ask us anything at all, and we'd be happy to chat you up about this program and answer any of your questions.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
We are here to be your permissionary. You have
Yeah.
permission to be your full, authentic self right now.
Yes. Yeah, and if committing to a full 9-month program feels like a big jump, people can always just start with getting the initiation weekend, which is the beginning of the program. But that initiation stands on its own. It's thousands of years old initiation into the Western Hermetic tradition. And then we also offer gong baths and ecstatic awakening meditation, Reiki attunements. And once you get in and you start doing these practices, there's other offerings for students who have already been initiated that you can find out about later, because we're really growing community here, and we're really growing a group of people that can continue working together, bringing lots of love and light to the world.
Yes.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to say that we haven't covered during this time?
Nothing's coming through right this second. No.
All
I
right.
feel like we had a pretty rounded conversation there. It felt really good.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, thank you so much for giving us your time today. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And anyone who's watching, please contact us to get more information. We look forward to talking with you. And
Definitely
we'll
so.
see you
Thank
all
you so
soon.
much.
Good night.